Welcome back to Pilates with Ang. Today's class is 20 minutes, requires no equipment, and will challenge you from head to toes while still being gentle enough to do every day. So when you're ready, roll out your mat and let's get started. Okay, let's get into this class. Turning around to face the front edge of the mat, your legs will be bent hip distance apart, and you're seated up on your sitting bones with your hands on your shins. Now, nice and easy, let's fold over the legs and start with some breathing. Let's breathe in through the nose, feel a nice expansion through the ribs, and breathe out through your pursed lip like you're blowing air through a straw. Let's do it again. As you inhale, think of sending the air into the back and sides of your rib cage. And as you breathe out, feel your abdominals maybe contract a little bit. Good, now let's stack the spine back up nice and tall. And you can scoot forward a little so you have space behind you, and you'll roll down to lie on your back, bending your knees, bringing your feet just a little bit closer to your seat. Continuing with our Pilates breathing, let's breathe in through the nose, feel that nice expansion. And as you breathe out, maybe you notice your abdominals contract a little bit. Let's place the hands on the front of the ribs. As you breathe in, think of expanding the ribs wide like an accordion. And as you breathe out, just notice the ribs draw back towards each other. Well done. Now let's do some pelvic tilts. Starting in a neutral pelvis, heavy tail, a little pocket of air or space under your lower back, and then release the lower back down into the mat into our imprint. Rock the pelvis back to neutral, and think of ribs and hips drawing towards each other to bring that lower back into the mat to imprint. Release back to neutral, and we'll do it one more time. Think of activating those obliques to bring the lower back down to the mat, and release back to your neutral pelvis. And here we're going to stay, keeping the pelvis nice and stable as we do our hip release. So let's open the left leg out to the side and then slide the leg long on the mat, rotate the knee and toes to the ceiling, and pull the leg back up. Open and slide, rotate and pull. So the leg is just easy moving in the hip socket. Your pelvis is nice and still. And now we'll go the other way. The leg rotates inward and down, open all the way out, and lift it back to center. 2 more. You're getting this amazing rotation of the leg in the hip socket, and it should feel really good, like a little massage for the hip joint. Let's do the other side. Hands on the hip bones for some awareness as we open the right leg and slide, rotate to the ceiling, pull it back up. 2 more. Notice your breathing here. We'll inhale to open and slide. Exhale, feel the abdominals contract a little. Good, reverse the direction for 3. 2 more. Noticing the pelvis stays really quiet and the front of the ribs nice and soft. The last one. Okay, let's move into our hip rolls. Starting with a neutral pelvis, tilt the pelvis back to imprint and keep going, peeling the pelvis up off the mat until you're in a bridge position resting between the shoulder blades. Now melt the chest away from the chin and roll down through your spine 1 vertebra at a time. Let's do it again. Curl the tail. Roll up. Find that nice long line from shoulders to knees and melt the spine back down, adding the breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, abdominals contract, glutes and hamstrings roll you up. Inhale, stay, reach the knees away from you, and then exhale, roll down. 2 more like that. This is such a nice massage for the spine, and it really helps to wake up the abdominals, the back body. Feel a nice press down through the backs of the arms, the heels, and even the big toes, so you feel your inner thighs a little bit here. This is your last one. Really find that length as you roll down. Well done. From here, let's bring some awareness to the rib cage as we get the shoulders warmed up. Reach the arms back by the ears and see if you can soften the ribs down. Bring your arms back down by your sides and let's reach back again, trying not to arch the back off the mat. Going into some arm circles, let's inhale, reach, exhale, circle around. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more in this direction. Doesn't that feel good? Let's reverse it for 3. Just noticing that as those arms reach back behind you, you're not letting the ribs lift or pop. Last one, inhale. And exhale, lower the arms down by the sides. Mobilizing your spine into rotation now, find your imprint. Let's float the legs up one at a time to tabletop and bring the arms out to a T, palms facing down. Take a breath in and let your legs float over to the left, and breathe out, bring them back to center. And now to the right. Notice the opposite glute will lift, but try to keep the opposite shoulder grounded. Good. Keep going like that, breathing in to twist. Breathing out, squeezing the inner thighs, activating the opposite side oblique to come back to center. Good. Bring some awareness to your ribs again. Just make sure they're not lifted off the mat. You have 2 more. Feeling the work in your waistline. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Keep breathing. And come back to center. And let's lower the legs one at a time. And we'll be coming over onto all fours to wake up those shoulder blades and our spine a little bit more. Checking that the knees are under the hips, the wrists are under the shoulders, and let's draw the shoulder blades together and then press them apart. Keeping your arms straight as you just tap into those shoulder blades, those scapula. You're gliding them towards each other and pressing them apart. Keeping the spine nice and flat as you do this, and trying not to creep those shoulders up to the ears. Now let's stay in the center and move into a cat stretch. Drop the tail around the spine, compress the abdominals, and unravel to a flat back. Keep going like this, thinking of tapping into that articulation we did in our hip rolls, moving from tail to head, and then unraveling from tail to head. Adding the breath, we'll exhale to round the spine. Inhale to release to a flat back. And one more time, exhale. Inhale, release. Didn't that feel so good? Now let's turn around to lie on our back, legs bent and hip distance apart, feet flat on the mat. Interlace your fingers behind the head, and we're going to start to get into those abdominals a little bit more. So we're going to lift our chest, bringing our gaze to our thighs, gliding the ribs down to the hips. And then we'll lower back down to the mat. Adding the breath. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale, stay. Feel the abdominals staying engaged. And exhale, lower back down. Last one here. Lift up. Notice your pelvis is staying neutral. Good. And lower down. Now let's add to this. We're going to do some pulses. So lift back up. The arms are reaching by your sides and we're pulsing it up. Get those shoulder blades off the mat. Keep your gaze right at your thighs. Good. Keep going. Keep breathing. And lower all the way down. Now let's find our imprint again. Release the lower back into the mat. Lift the legs one at a time up to tabletop position. Lift your chest back up. And we're going to reach the right leg long, framing the left leg with our hands, and then switch. This is our single leg stretch. We're going to start off slow and switch. You could put your hands behind your head for support if you need that. Good. Adding the breath. We exhale, switch. Inhale through center, exhale, switch. Good. Last 2 like this. And now we're going to go for 10 fast. We'll inhale for 2 and exhale for 2. Good. Keep going. Almost there. Okay, let's hold in center. Hug the knees. Release the upper body just for a moment. Now interlace your hands behind your head again. Lift your chest. And we're going to twist. Right leg goes long. Twist towards the left knee. And switch. Beautiful. So the leg movement is the same, but we've added this rotation of the torso. And I want you to think, rather than elbow to knee, think of coming up and over, bringing armpit to knee. Really getting that rotation through the thoracic spine, getting the obliques working. Good. We're inhaling as we pass through center. Exhale, twist and hold. Keep the breath flowing. We're having fun, right? So keep smiling. Now let's hold. Come to center. Getting ready to go a little quicker. Here we go. Twist and twist. Twist. Just keep the breath flowing here. You're almost done. The last 2. And come to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Release down and just give yourself a little rock side to side. Moving right into bridge, your legs are hip distance apart, feet flat on the mat, arms by the sides, ribs soft. Now we're pressing straight up into a bridge position, and then you're pushing firmly into the left foot at the top of the move, lifting the right leg up to tabletop, and let's tap the right toes down, pull the right leg up. Just keeping that bend in the knee for the first few. And if you want to level it up, you can straighten the leg to the ceiling and then move the straight leg down and up. Keeping the pelvis lifted and both hips level. Just 2 more of whatever variation you're doing. Now bend your knee, place that foot on the mat, lower the hips down. Breathe in, breathe out, pick the pelvis back up, push into the right foot, left leg comes up, we tap and lift, tap. Good. Keep pressing down into the right foot to feel the right glute. Maybe you straighten your left leg. You could add your ankle here. You could flex and lower, point and lift. Good. You're almost there. This is your last rep. Bend the knee, place the foot down, and lower the hips. Now let's bring the legs a little bit wider and the arms out nice and wide and just do a little release, a little windshield wiper. Legs go to one side and to the other side. That should feel great after all that work. Now let's keep flowing here. Turn onto your tummy. Legs are hip distance apart, toes untucked, arms in a W shape. Now lifting your chest to rest on the bottom rib in an extension, and then lower down to a hover. Keep going like that. Lift and lower. Breathing in to extend. Breathing out to come back down. Just mobilizing your spine here. Keeping your neck nice and long as you lift. Good. Last one. Breathe in and breathe out. And making this just a little more challenging. One hand on top of the other goes under your forehead. And now let's float the chest and the arms up together in a long, low line and lower back down. Let's do it again. Lift and lower. Adding your breath, use your exhale to hover. Feel the abdominals engage. The legs are strong. Inhale, release down. 2 more. We're not lifting very high here. It's just a hover. It's more about finding length from head to toes. Good. This is your last one. Lower down, and let's bring our legs mat distance apart in a turnout. Bend your knees, flex your feet, and connect your heels. Now I want you to squeeze your heels together, push your pubic bone gently into the mat, and feel your glutes engage. Good job. Let's add the breath. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze the heels, engage the glutes. Good. Adding to this. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out. Squeeze the heels, and now hover the knees off the mat as you do that. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower down. Keep going like this, noticing that your abdominals are engaging a little bit. Trying not to lift so high that you arch the back. It's just a small hover, and your upper body is nice and relaxed. Last one like this. Starting to feel the glutes, the hamstrings. Let's add the upper body now. Squeeze and lift everything off the mat. Hover and lower down. Breathe in. Breathe out and lift. Breathe in and lower. Keep going like that. Exhaling, squeezing the heels, lifting up. This is such a good combo to activate the back body and pull us out of that rounded forward position that we all live in. Now on this next one, we're holding at the top, and we're going to pulse those heels for 8, 7, 6, 5. Think of getting as long as you can from knees to head. And lower all the way down. Lovely job. Okay, we are feeling that. Now we're going to come on up for a shell stretch. So you can just round your spine, breathe in and breathe out. Stack the spine up and get ready for my favorite, the side leg series. Let's turn onto your side. Fold your bottom arm and rest your head down. Bottom leg is bent for the first few here. And you're going to reach your top leg out as long as you can from the hip. Flex your foot and sweep the leg forward in space for 2. Point the toes, reach it back for 1. Keep moving like this. Let's inhale as the leg comes forward. Exhale as the leg comes back. Feel the abdominals engage. so we don't arch the back as the leg comes behind us. Good. Now you could bring the legs straight into the front edge of the mat for a bit more of a challenge. It's up to you. You're going to keep going. Good. Top shoulder is relaxed. We have 2 more. Keeping the pelvis nice and quiet as the leg moves. Bring the legs together and just bring them back so that you're in one long straight line, bottom leg straight or bent if you need some extra stability. Now let's point the toes on the top leg, lift the leg up, flex the foot and lengthen it down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. As you move here, I want you to think more about length than height and keep a little lift in the underside of your waist. Use your breath and your awareness to create resistance in that moving leg. Think of reaching and pushing something heavy away as you flex that foot. This is your last one, and then I want you to hold the leg at hip height, point the toes, and go into circles for 8, 7, right from the hip, keeping the torso really quiet. Hold, bottom leg bent if you need for extra support. Let's reverse for 8, 7. So the circle is coming right from your hip, not from your ankle or your knee. Keep breathing. Now hold the leg out there, bring the legs together, and maybe we'll take a quick breather. Just give your glute a little pat. It should be feeling nice and warm. Setting up now for our staggered legs. Both legs are going to be long. Take a peek down, make sure you're in one nice long line. Lift the top leg up, the bottom leg comes to meet it, and both legs lower down together. Keep going like this and notice that top hip. See if you can keep it stacked and don't let it roll backwards in space as the legs lift. Again, this is more about length than it is about height. So think about that as you finish your last one here. Squeeze the inner thighs. Good job. Okay, we're feeling that. Now we have another side. So let's flip on over. And again, you can choose if you want your bottom leg bent or you want it straight for a bit more of a balance challenge. We're going to get set up here. Top leg reaches long, flex the foot, and we're going to bring it forward for 2 and point, reach it back for 1. Inhale forward, exhale back. Good. I'm about to switch my leg here to that straight leg position, but you can keep going with whatever works for you. Bringing your awareness to your torso as the leg moves in space. You're keeping it very quiet. Noticing again that as the leg comes behind you, you don't arch your back. Keeping the distance between ribs and hips the same the whole time. Good, last one here. And bring your legs together and coming back to your nice long line. Stacking the hips and shoulders and getting ready for our abduction. Point the toes and lift. Flex the foot and lower. Inhale and exhale down. Good. 6 and 5, creating that resistance in your body and feeling that work, not just in the thigh, in the hip, but also in your core. Last 2, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And on this one, we're going to hold, point the toes, get really strong in your core, and let's make little circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse. 8. Keep breathing. Nothing else is moving, just that leg in the hip socket. You're doing so well. All right, staggered legs. Both legs are long. Inhale the top leg to hip height. Exhale, the bottom leg comes to meet it and they lower down together. Keep going. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Try not to drop that top hip back. Make sure you're stacked. And think of lifting the underside of your waist the whole time. So you don't have to lift the legs super high to feel this. This is your last one. And you made it. Great job. Now let's bend the knees and give the glutes a little pat. That should feel really good after all that work. Now meet me on all fours. Wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. Tuck your toes and meet me in a hover position. Lifting the knees just a couple of inches, keeping the back nice and flat. Lower the knees down, adding the breath. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, hover the knees. Now breathe in, feel a nice strong core as you stay. Breathe out and lower down. Keep going like that, and we're going to add to this. Next time you hover, you're going to stay and float the left foot off the mat a few inches. Lower it down and float the right foot off the mat. Lower it down, set the knees down, and reset. Inhale. Exhale, hover. Now lift the left leg a little higher maybe and lower down, and the right leg. So you're just really challenging your core, your obliques. Good, let's do that one more time. Hover. Keep the knees low as you lift one leg up and the other leg up. Good. Set the knees down. Untuck your toes and sit back into a nice child's pose. Reach your hands out as far away from you as you can, getting ready for a spinal wave. You're going to ripple the spine forward into cobra, lift the heart, and send the seat back to the heels. Breathe in as you ripple forward, drop the hips, lift the heart. Breathe out as you sit back. One more time, breathe in, ripple forward, shoulders over, wrists lift, and send it back. Take a breath in here in your child's pose, roll all the way up, and you are almost done. We're just going to cool down. Meet me in a Z-sit position in the middle of the mat, and we're going to go into a mermaid. Mirror my legs here and lift the right arm up and over, coming down to rest on the forearm. Breathe in, breathe out, come on up, and let's counter stretch. Go the other way, breathe in, and breathe out. And we're going to switch those legs, flip them around. And now we're lifting the left arm up and coming over to rest on the right forearm. Breathe, reach. This should feel really good. Come on up. Other arm comes up and over. You just did a full class. We've really worked hard, and we're just going to end off with one final big breath together. Find a comfortable seated position, and let's lift both arms up to the sky as we breathe in, expand, palms come together, and breathe out as you lower the hands down to the heart. Great job. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, please give this video a like, share it with a friend, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next class.